So the PlayStation Portal has been out for, I think, a little over a year at this point, and I have been an avid supporter of the PlayStation Portal since day one. If you have been on this channel, you know just how much of a fan I am of the PlayStation Portal. I mean, who doesn't want a device that doesn't allow you to actually download anything on it and is literally just mirroring what is going on your PlayStation 5 and just doesn't feel like a dedicated handheld? I mean, who doesn't want that? Yeah, clearly I've had my own issues with the PlayStation Portal, but all that being said, I went and got myself a PlayStation Portal. So I want to give you my honest thoughts and impressions, and this will also touch on the newest update, at least at the time of this recording, that allows you to do cloud streaming. So technically now you don't need to have a PlayStation 5 to be able to play a PlayStation Portal. So let's get into it. So before I go right into my thoughts and honest impressions on the PlayStation Portal after having completely hated on it for so long, I want to remind you that if you want to see honest, really thoughtful reviews on just different products, different gaming tech, different games, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss another video like this. Now, my thoughts on the PlayStation Portal. So, it's a bit of a complicated handheld. It's a bit of a complicated console. I mean, honestly, if you paid attention to it when it first came out, it was very clear that it's a streaming device. It's not a standalone console, and it's not the console that many people were hoping they would get from Sony. Everyone wanted a PlayStation Portable PSP successor or a PS Vita successor. People wanted to be able to have a handheld console that they're able to play games on the console and have them either downloaded or even physical media with it. That would be great too. But yeah, people wanted to be able to use it as a dedicated console. Now, all the other stuff, being able to do remote play, cloud streaming, all that kind of stuff, could also have been part of it too. I don't think anyone would have been mad if they had a dedicated handheld that also featured digital aspects as well. I don't think anyone would be upset with that, but the fact that it was all digital and just wasn't allowing you to actually do anything on the device itself, that was a bit of a letdown for many, many people. Now, I will say that everyone and every review that I've seen and every article that I've read always talks about who the PlayStation Portal is for. And everyone at the top of the list talk about how the PlayStation Portal is for parents, is for people, families that, maybe the PlayStation 5 is, in the living room or something like that, and everyone wants to watch TV. Other people don't want to play the games on the PS5, but you specifically want to be able to play, and so this is perfect. This is an amazing device for that. And obviously there's different home setups, different family setups, things like that, but if you are a parent like me that has a separate room where you game, or maybe your PlayStation 5 is set up in an office, or maybe it's just set up in your bedroom and nobody but yourself is going in the bedroom to be able to play games. So, maybe you have already a separate place to be able to play your PlayStation 5. Well, a portal is a bit redundant at that point. Redundant in the sense of many people talk about how if people are hogging the TV, then you're not able to play the PS5. So it's great. Now you can play, in the same room that the PlayStation 5 is in, but now your PS5 isn't hogging up the TV. Other people can watch shows, movies, whatever, and you can be on the couch right next to them playing your PS5 in your hands. That's fine. For those very specific circumstances, that's fine. However, in my case, I was never really in a situation where I wanted to be with my family, sharing a room, while also playing a game and being disconnected from my family in the same room. Just for me, in my situation, it didn't make sense. And also the fact that I have a separate room to be able to play if I wanted to. If you're somebody that is in a similar boat, and I understand not everyone is like that, but if you're in a similar boat, just understand that the whole concept of this being an amazing device and such a game changer kind of goes out the window. Now, I will say it is convenient to be able to play games. Like in my case, my PS5 is in my office, far away from my bedroom, and so when I'm laying in bed and I want to play some PS5 games, then yeah, it's great being able to do that on the Portal, laying in bed, no big deal. And with a nice large screen, it's great in that aspect, but that's more of sort of a nuanced situation, at least in my case. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out of the way, that the whole argument of it being just for parents and families, it's a bit more nuanced than that. It's depending on your gaming setup and all that kind of stuff. But maybe you already knew that. Maybe you just want to hear honest thoughts on if this is a worthwhile device to pick up and what the major flaw is that this device still has to this day. So, moving on from who this is for, let's actually get into the device itself. So, what I will say, as somebody that's been an advocate for the backbone, I was definitely one of those people that was always saying, why spend the extra $100 to get a dedicated device that only plays PS5 games on remote play, same as what a backbone can do, but at least the backbone allows you to play Game Pass games and allows you to play other mobile device games or Steam games, whatever. You can do all of these things with a backbone controller and your phone for half the cost of a Portal. I take that back a little bit in the sense of the Portal is very comfortable in the hands. I will say that the Portal is far more comfortable to use in the hands, and it also has all of the haptics that a DualSense has. But there are trade offs that you're getting with it, unfortunately. So you're still not getting Bluetooth support with the Portal, which is kind of bizarre. I'll get into that in a little bit, but you're not getting Bluetooth support, so you can't use any, gaming earbuds or gaming headphones that you might want to use, which with the backbone and your phone, you're able to do that because it's just Bluetooth headphones connecting to your phone. Yeah, that's a whole thing. And also with the backbone, you're getting a controller that just is very pocketable. I mean, you can literally keep it in your pocket or you can put it in a backpack, and it's very lightweight. It doesn't take up a lot of space and is very quick and easy to get right into any game that you're wanting to play. The other advantage is that if you have a large phone like me, I have a 15 Pro Max, it's great. I already have the screen real estate to be able to comfortably play remote play games. However, I will say that the PlayStation Portal does have a larger and in many cases a brighter screen than the phones that you might have, and it, like I've said, is much more comfortable in the hand. The DualSense ergonomics is far more comfortable than the backbone controller. After a while, your hands can kind of cramp up because there's just not a whole lot of grip room, really. And depending on the phone that you're using, let's say you're using a 12 mini or a 13 mini or just a just generally smaller phone, then yeah, you're kind of stuck with that smaller screen from the smaller phone. You might have a cracked screen, so now you're playing PS5 games on a cracked screen. That's just a whole other ball of wax that just kind of takes you out of the immersion of whatever game you're wanting to play. So, like I said, you are getting some trade offs going from a Portal to a backbone or vice versa. With the backbone, you do have that compatibility to play any game that you want, and it's plug and play. You don't have to charge the backbone, it's just all dependent on your phone's battery. And so, yeah, you have a lot of sort of freedom with the backbone while also kind of trading off the ergonomics of just a comfortable grip. Whereas with the Portal, it's very comfortable in the hands. If you are heavily invested into the PlayStation ecosystem, you're not really playing any other games. You don't have an Xbox, you don't have Game Pass, you don't have a Steam library. You're just playing games that you would want to play on a PS5. Then, yeah, the Portal, from that aspect of the sort of limited uses, is probably fine for you if you're good with that. However, one of the problems that I have with the Portal is that, again, it has no Bluetooth support. So there are many instances where I want to play Portal games in bed, but I have to find wired headphones, or if I want to spend $150 to $200 to get the Sony earbuds or the Pulse headsets as well for that specific Sony proprietary connectivity, it's not really that great of a system there. And then if I forget my headphones in, my wired headphones in the office here, and then I'm trying to play in the bed, then I just have to either not play at all so it doesn't disturb my wife, or just completely mute the audio, and then that sucks it out of, the immersion, because half the time I'm wanting to play in bed, she's already asleep, and so what am I going to do? Try to wake her up just to play some games? No, I'm not going to do that. So, yeah, you're kind of getting these trade offs. And to me, it just doesn't make sense to not have Bluetooth on the Portal, because their excuse was that it introduces latency, but it just depends on the headphones that you're using. I mean, especially like in my case when I was gaming on the iPhone with the backbone controller, I have a nice pair of Edifier Hecate earbuds that are just really awesome in ear gaming earbuds that have almost no latency, virtually no latency. And it was fantastic just being able to have that immersion in my ears in real time, be able to hear explosions and footsteps behind me and all that kind of stuff. It was like no problem at all. And the fact that I can't do that because of just supposed latency, just this general, enemy in the air that's sort of hiding away that you can't really see, it just doesn't make any sense to me. So I would have loved to see Bluetooth in the Portal. I think that is something that is a sore feature that is lacking, unfortunately. Now, the biggest flaw of the Portal is the fact that there is no onboard storage, no capacity to be able to download games. Everything that you want to do with the Portal is solely dependent on your internet connection. Now, that's sort of a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing is that it's solely dependent on your internet connection. So it doesn't take a whole lot of heavy duty, intense hardware to be able to play your PS5 games and to maximize, the performance, because your PS5 is doing all the hard work and all it's doing is just streaming and mirroring that display and activity and sound into the Portal. And so it, doesn't take a whole lot of computing power to be able to do that. So that's sort of a good thing in that it doesn't take a whole lot of, heavy, intense processing and all that kind of stuff. However, the bad thing is that you just don't have the ability to do anything offline. So if you are in a hotel, or if you're at work that has stricter Wi-Fi settings, or if you're at home, just your home Wi-Fi isn't the strongest, well, then you just can't really do anything unless you get strong Wi-Fi. And so I think that's one of the areas, that the biggest area that the Portal is sorely lacking in, is the fact that you just literally cannot do anything without internet connection. Now, if there was the ability to download things directly onto the Portal, maybe by onboard storage or maybe with an SD card or something like that, again, it can be the same exact setup that we have with the Portal. It could be the fact that it's remote play and all this sort of stuff. But if you are able to actually download any of your digital PS5 games onto the Portal for access, I think that that is something that would make a massive difference, that would really set this apart and really make it a strong handheld. Right now, the idea of the Portal is great, but then in practice, there are so many instances where your streaming quality gets cut out. I mean, I can't go through like 20 minutes without at least 5 notifications saying that the Wi-Fi signal is disrupted, or whatever is that yellow symbol that you get whenever you're playing games. It's just something that happens pretty consistently, and I have very strong Wi-Fi, and my PS5 is hardwired into the actual modem itself, so I'm not even connected wirelessly on the PlayStation 5. And I'm doing everything that I can to get strong internet connection, but it just doesn't matter. And so it's just one of those things that it's like, if they really just went the extra step just to include the ability for digital downloads, I don't think that it would take a massive overhaul of the entire system. And the fact that they're talking about potentially doing another Portal or another, handheld device, I don't think they need to do the whole R&D and figure out if, how this is going to work and do all the technical specifications and all this kind of stuff and research. All I think that they need to do is come out with a Portal Pro or a Portal 2, or just scrap this as like the, beta version of it, and just make a new Portal that has all of these same things but allows you to actually download games onto the Portal itself. Now, then there's going to be some software issues that they'll have to figure out, where if you're playing a game on the Portal that's downloaded on the Portal, you can't also play it at the same time on a PS5 because, for copyright reasons, you don't want to have like multiple copies accessed at the same time. Okay, that's something that they can maybe figure out with like a software, figuring things out in that capacity. But I think that it's a relatively simple solution to just allow downloadable content onto the Portal. I mean, you can't even watch content, like you can't even like stream Disney Plus or whatever on the Portal. And some people didn't even know that. They just bought it thinking that they can do everything that they can do on a PS5, but you can't stream videos or music or whatever on the Portal, which is kind of weird. You can go to that section on the Portal through remote play, same as you would on a PS5, but then when you try to actually get into YouTube or Disney Plus or whatever, you just can't. So it's just there's these weird limitations that I feel like from the get-go they should have had the cloud-based gaming as a clear option, to be able to do. Like, I don't think it should have been this massive 4.0 update. I think that should have been included out of the box originally a year ago when this thing came out. And I really think that there should be at least standard on all portals, or maybe just a Portal Pro that allows you to have that SD card or onboard storage, preferably an SD card, so then you can just swap out, different storage options. Maybe fill up one SD card with, I don't know, all the Final Fantasy games or something like that, and then another SD card with a bunch of other, I don't know, that's just getting into a weird tangent. But maybe there could be a Portal Pro that allows you to actually have that. And with us going to a more digital future and physical media is kind of getting phased out in some aspects, I don't think that it is too like out of this world or backwards thinking to allow digital content to be downloaded onto a device so that you can play offline. I don't think that that's an issue. Like, I don't think that that would be like backward or taking a step back. Honestly, I think that's taking a huge step forward, because not everyone has strong Wi-Fi. Not everyone has access to Wi-Fi without any issues. And so, I don't know. It's just an issue that I think is really plaguing the Portal. Will I be getting rid of the Portal? No. I do like it. I do like the screen. It's larger than my 15 Pro Max. So, I'm getting a nice, comfortable experience, playing games in bed, on the couch, whatever. There's oftentimes I'm just sitting in this room playing on the Portal instead of playing on the TV, just because, I don't know, it's just more comfortable playing handheld games sometimes. And so, will I be getting rid of it? No. I do still have the Backbone, and I will still use that occasionally. And it is good for, again, Game Pass and other things that the Portal can't do. And so, yeah, it's just, there are instances where, the Backbone is great. There's instances where the Portal is great. Overall, which one do I think is better, the Backbone or the Portal? I'm still going to have to go with the Backbone, because you have a lot more freedom in terms of the games and, game library that you want to play. And you have the Bluetooth support because it's just based off of your phone. So yeah, that said, I still think that the Backbone is still better than the Portal, but I have changed my mind from completely hating on the Portal and just completely thinking that it's trash to finding use out of it and a hopeful future for the Portal, because I am hoping that the Portal goes the route of allowing digital downloads, or if they just scrap the Portal, or maybe just keep the Portal as its own remote play streaming thing, but definitely give us a handheld that allows local content on the handheld itself. I think that that would be great. Even if you had to buy the game again, maybe you have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and you have to buy a handheld version of that game to be able to play it on this other handheld, I think that that would still be fine. I think that gets by the licensing issue. It would be annoying to have to pay for a game twice, or decide, okay, do I want to get the PS5 version or the handheld version? Yes, that would be annoying, but at least you would have the ability to play that game, whatever that game is, locally without any issues. So all that said, those are my honest thoughts and opinions on the PlayStation Portal. I still think that it has a major issue that really needs to get worked out, but I am hopeful for the future, and I am more confident in the Portal than I was a year ago when I first shared my thoughts. So if you have found any value in this video, make sure to drop a comment down below. Let me know if I have maybe introduced some different thought patterns into the Portal, or just, maybe change your perspective of the Portal or the Backbone. Let me know down below, and make sure you consider subscribing so you don't miss another video like this. And if you like this video, I really think you're going to like this one, but if this one's not your style, you'll like this one. I'll catch you in either one of these videos. Peace.